Hello there. So I thought I would just update you about my studio and what's going on. I've done some changes in this room. I actually started recording, I think back in December, about visualizing what this room, my studio room, was going to look like. And I should go back and see that intro video and see if I can connect it to this video somehow. The big change is, as of this week, is I now have a dedicated table for painting. And then here's my computer. And then brought this back from storage, but I have a dedicated table for cutting prints. So when I do a paper print, it prints out here, and then I can put it up on the table and cut it, and I can still paint every day. Whereas prior to this week, I was cutting prints on this table. So every time I had some print orders to fulfill, which is once or twice weekly, I would then go and clean off this table, cut the prints, and then it would take a couple days before I would set up for painting again. But I thought I would show you some paintings I have on the go. These are both from the same morning, a couple or maybe a month or so ago, but I was on the trail called Greenland and waiting for the sunrise, and this was the image I captured. And a lot of you are asking if I do horizontal pieces. I was trying to paint something horizontal, and I really love painting height of the trees, and so that's why I don't paint as many horizontal ones, but I really like this one where you had the sunrise and then this lichen-rich tree was framing it. And I think there's a couple brush strokes I want to do before I sign it, but this one is very close to done. I did sign this one yesterday, and it was a little bit of a struggle. I did film the whole painting. What was happening was the underpainting actually had yellow in here, and it was going from like a greenish yellow to a pink, to a purple, to a green. So I was jumping around from warms to cools and it wasn't making sense. But I think I figured it out. So that's that one. And paintings have been a little bit slower for me right now. And this is actually the first stab at that painting. This is the first stab at it, and it almost felt like there were too many trees and it wasn't working, and it got a little bit dark. And then here I zoomed in a little bit, reduced the trees, and brightened it up. You can see the exact same tree on both pieces. So even this painting here took 2 stabs, and I do have, one of my other new purchases has been this drywall cart. So now I can move my stack of paintings. It's like mobile storage, so I can move this paintings into the living room while I paint and have more space in here, and then I can move it back. So there is, I think it's right here. So this was my first stab at this lichen painting. And the 2 things I was thinking about was there's too much gray. So I pulled burnt sienna and ultramarine blue off of my palette because those, I love to mix a gray, but it was coming out too gray. I also realized that the trees felt short. So I took those 2 colors off my palette. Let me just put these down here. And this is the piece that I came up with. So let me show you both together. And then you can see this one's a lot more gray, and this one's bigger, and just the colors are more saturated. So I'm pretty excited about these 2 tree paintings. So I have these 3 18 by 24s I hope to finish before I release my next collection. And I also have this 30-inch by 60-inch canvas ready to go. A lot of you are asking for the painting Warm Light in the scale of forest green, which forest green is 30 inches by 60 inches. It's a long one, but you want the Warm Light. So let me just show you those 2 pieces. So just to show you, this is Warm Light in the cream or light wood frame. And this is actually to scale of the actual painting. And I'm getting a lot of inquiries about, can I paint this color with the scale of forest green? And this is forest green. It's interesting that the prints that I have in my home are actually to scale of the original. So this is the scale of the original forest green. And as you can see, it's a nice long piece that could go over a couch. So I'm getting inquiries, could I have this piece in the colors of Warm Light? So that's what I'm going to work on before I do my next painting release. Another thing I've been up to is I have my Sony mirrorless camera set up, and it actually records me painting from start to finish a painting. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these because that last painting, I have 9 hours straight of filming. I won't post a YouTube video of 9 hours straight, but maybe I can learn something from it, or I can speed it up or take clips from it. I'm not sure, but we'll figure that out. What else is going on? So in order to bring this table here, I did lose a bookshelf with all my art books and some other stuff. So they're down here now. I haven't decided if to move all of my books to storage or not. But the other thing is, I get a lot of inquiries about frames. So I'm currently working on some videos and some tips about frames. Here's 3 different frames from Amazon, and I think there's some more. I have some more in the cart. And all right, that's why I needed a shelf. Oh wow. My plant just spilt all over the floor, as well as some books and paintings. Definitely I need a shelf in here, or to take that to storage, or maybe it didn't want to go to storage after it heard that. So I've purchased 5 different frames from Amazon so I could compare the quality of them, because you guys are asking which frames to use for the paper prints. And then I also picked this frame up from Handcrafted Co. in Waterloo, Canada. So I bought this custom made oak frame on Etsy from her, and she said that she can do 24 by 32, which is one of the sizes that's hard to get. I'll put a link to her shop as well as I need to make a page on my website that shares all of these frame links and which ones I prefer. So I want to get to your framing questions. I showed you that I'm working on paintings right now. And then a project that I am working on is over here. This is my storage room. And behind here is my 3D printer. And I'm hoping to get back into plein air painting. I did that 2 years ago. I was doing a lot of plein air painting and really enjoyed it. It just got a little bit overwhelming because I was YouTubing it. So I want to 3D print a plein air painting kit that would be perfect for my process. So now that I know that I love painting on wood panel, I want to create some kind of a 3D printed palette and paint holder, brush holder, water holder, and panel holder that will fit in my mountain biking backpack so I can paint wherever I go. So all that being said, I am going to clean up this mess, and if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you. I do struggle a little bit keeping up with my emails at the moment. I appreciate all of them, and I just want to thank you so much for following me in my newsletter as well as sending me your emails. I have an idea that I want to hire in the next 3 months or next quarter, because I do need help answering emails, but also painting and fulfilling print orders. I think in my last newsletter, I said that I would no longer be fulfilling print orders. And so after Black Friday, I didn't want to raise my prices before Black Friday and then give a discount. Kept my prices as is, fulfilled the orders myself. That way I could have even just a small profit margin. But then I raised my prices so I could outsource the prints. And then the printer also raised their prices. And I couldn't justify some of the costs based on my current pricing. So I decided to bring back printing into my studio, or bring back the printing of paper. I have a feeling either in the summer months I need to hire someone to help me with paper prints so I can get out painting and getting reference photos, or to, in the summer months, cancel paper prints altogether and I'll just do canvas prints and painting. I'm not sure yet. And I did decide to bring the prints back in-house, mostly due to the cost as well as the time. I can fulfill print orders much faster, and it seems like I get a lot of inquiries about how fast can I fulfill a print order, because I know you are giving it out as gifts and often want it last minute. I like that I'm able to help you out with that. So I'm working on plein air stuff, I'm working on painting stuff, I'm working on your prints. I have to photograph these guys for prints. I want to do 4 more paintings before I do a release. So I did email some of you that I hope to do a release in February, but I think it'll be March. And one thought I have is, could I do it March 6th? Because that's my birthday and it's kind of a nice deadline to do a release, because then I can kind of celebrate all of this is done. But that's what I'm thinking about. And in the meantime, I will clean up this stack of books and my plant. Looks like you can't just stack them on the floor. Until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next email.